a year ago as one of the key individuals for scoring, but also Chuck Quinn, Corey Roush have the ability to put the ball in the net. As nobody gets that, it'll be a goal kick for the Panthers. I was going to say pizza delivery. That's what it appears to be. It is a pizza delivery. You know, and you're your own color man at times. No, it is actually the Plymouth South girls coaches get pizzas so they can watch the brethren play. They all came up on one bus, so figured, why not have dinner? Which is not a bad idea. Watch the boys play and see what happens. As Quinn with a bicycle kick. McCann just trying to play, you know, let you knock it out of bounds, Plymouth South, and McCann did just that and letting it roll out. 1-1 is our score here in the first half. Plymouth South scored first on a terrific shot by Joel Perry. And then John Stanford matched that terrific shot with one of his own to tie the game. Both goals similar in that they were both twisting type shots to the far corner and upstairs. And no chance for either goalie to come up with a save. Drilled back out of bounds by Aiello. Another throw in for Derek Barrasso. Beston tries to turn and couldn't. It's cut off in the play and it's sent down towards Keith Burney by Casey Combs. Danny McDonald trying to look for some place to go, and Danny is cut off completely, and Panthers just doubled the area. Well, Danny McDonald couldn't do a heck of a lot, and John Stanford helping out and alleviating the pressure trying to be put on by the Panthers. Fantakis. 7 minutes, 30 seconds unofficially to go here in the first half. We're tied at 1. Good first half. Bad throw in will cost Plymouth South. Perry with a bad throw in. Substitution, Capriccio will come back in. Machado will go out as Steve Schaff just... One thing he's been able to do, and he very, very well, since taking over the program, I always like is the way he rotates people in and out, making sure those fresh legs are in there. Capriccio. Very rarely, I mean, if I seen a Weymouth team towards the end looking to huff and puff and just struggle to get themselves to make that push at the end of a game. Chase to Capriccio. Panthers. Roush gets a good pass, and McDonald, no. It'll be Basilio. Red Roush, and Roush get called for the violation. 5-5-5, clock just ticking down here at Legion Field. Good hip check right there. Inadvertently by Derek Barrasso. Results? The restart situation for the Wildcats and Tommy Fantakis. Little golf chip that Watson grabs. It's one of those you want the backspin perfect, have one of your teammates run underneath right to the ball, and Tommy just put a little too far. Basilio, Beston bothers him. Casey Combs, couldn't push it upfield. Under 5 to go unofficially in the first half. I don't know what the penalty time or injury time that is left. This Seamus Donovan looked to drop it to the area for Tommy Aiello, but Aiello was not caught up to the play, and Beston was too far away from the play. Beston does a good job, traps, shoots, and scores! Beston from Carroll, Alexis, 2-1 Wildcats. And about as fine a play as you wanted to see. Beston just trapped it perfectly, and he just drilled that shot upper corner. No chance for Jake Lawton on that play. And Chris Beston's second goal of the season. The Wildcats playing on top. And if you're Plymouth South, you've given Weymouth some pretty nice opportunities, and you're lucky you're not down by a heck of a lot more. You had your first opportunity. You figure you would gain some momentum from it when you get the goal from Joel Perry. And the funny thing is, though the Panthers did get the first goal of this particular match, you figure it would give them momentum, make them a fired up team, being on the road against a team that is two-time OCL champs. But the Wildcats just needed seconds to get the goal by this man, John Stanford, and it's just seemingly given Weymouth a pretty good advantage as far as this first half goes, and that's why with a 2-1 lead and just under 3 to go unofficially here in the first half. Panther team, it's got to be pointed out, 11 returning players from the team that went to the South Sectional Semifinal. So by no means Weymouth gained anything. I mean, they get the lead, but the fact is, on the South with Quinn, Roush, Basilio, 3 very, very potent goal scorers that could change this around in a hurry. They're quite capable of doing that, the Panthers.
Number 6, John Pomar.
And the Panthers, girls soccer team that lost to the girls of Weymouth, 4-0. And watching the boys of Weymouth play at the present time against the boys of Plymouth South. And 2-1 Weymouth as Corey Roush bounces one in. John Pomar. And here's Stu Schaffiel right away, because you don't know how much time is left here in this first half. The one thing with soccer I will always cringe about is the fact that that time being kept on the field. And, you know, the fans, the fans, you want to know how much time is left. The coach, you'd like to be able to look up and see it, like hockey or basketball. You can look up and say, okay, yeah, do this or do that. All you can say is, yeah, come on, right away. The restart situation for the Panthers. Brasco grabs at the foot of Ayad Mazug. I get off a hard kick, but give it Brasco there to grab it. 2-1 in favor of the Wildcats, their home opener with Plymouth South. Pomar cut off in the play by Eaton. And And I believe, yes it is, the end of the first half of play. Joel Perry scored first in this game as he got Plymouth South on the board, but the Wildcats come back with goals by John Stanford and Chris Beston in lead at halftime by the score of 2-1. Second half coming up for you here on Cox Communications. Stick with us. Don't you dare go away. Ready for second half action. We were getting ourselves ready to go, and all of a sudden the Wildcats took 20 seconds, and Seamus Donovan makes it a 3-1 Wildcat lead. Wildcats just came out and just stormed the Plymouth South net on a throw-in situation. Scramble in front, Donovan knocked it home. Wildcats up 3-1. David Rasco.
Number 7.
Virginia Tech, Ron, in the first quarter had success running right at Syracuse. Let's see if they come out and try to establish the run again. Of course, you mentioned a big point. When you lose a player like Marcus Parker, that takes a little bit.
Roush, yeah, that's deflected away by the Panthers. Sit back and relax. If you're Weymouth, you're up by 2. And looking for more as Machado twists one in. Clank! Donovan nearly had a second. Lausen makes the save, and Lausen might have been better off not making the save there. It'd be a corner kick. I'll tell you, Jake Lausen deflected that rebound to where it was right in front of the net. Talk about a tremendous opportunity. And Machado almost got it on the feed, and I believe it was Tommy Hentakis just missed connecting. 3-1 Wildcats. And they have controlled for the most part. Score very reflective of how this has gone. Seamus Donovan tipped away very nicely by Dana Nevins. But Nevins tipping it out of bounds. Where's a corner kick for Tim Karalexis, who's got a pair of assists in this one. Barrasso tipped it and out of bounds over the net. Tim Karalexis once again. Home. Banged to Chris Beston and then finished off to make it 4-1. And Tim Karalexis, when you get a hat trick scoring, but the hat trick is for Tim Karalexis on assist. I don't think junior midfielder minds it that much. Chris Beston's second goal of the game, and it almost seems like that Chris Beston first goal lifted his team up on their shoulders and take some cliches, so to speak, and lifted them up on their feet and said to say, come on guys, let's go, and they responded very nicely. The momentum seems to be their way. It just seems to be a more determined Weymouth team. Not to say that they weren't in the first half. I mean, it's just when that ball has been in the box, they are attacking it like a very hungry animal looking for that piece of meat just sitting there. They're looking to get to the ball, like here. And Chris Beston just took the ball away from Casey Combs and forced the corner kick out of the situation. It's a good Plymouth South team. The Wildcats right now are just shifted it into a higher level of play. Plymouth South has not been able to respond. McCann has done a good job on Quinn. Quinn has not really had many shots in net. Bobby Griffin with a very nice catch, Wildcat assistant. Panthers. Joey Kelleher from doing much. To the middle of the field it goes, John Stanford. Antakis, and now Paul McCann. Seamus Donovan, who has the Wildcats' third goal. Apologize to Seamus tonight. We're trying to get everything up here and ready to go for the second half, and all of a sudden everything started so quickly, and Seamus, seconds into that second half, burying one. Seamus, Chris Beston, Tommy Antakis, the tri-captains for this Wildcat team. And we're 32 plus minutes away from going 3-0 on the season. They're up by 3, 4-1. Jake Lawton. I think you heard that. Plymouth play hard. It was from the Panther girls team to the left. They're sitting up on the wall here at Legion. I'm laughing. Panthers are playing hard. Wildcats are just playing better. Beston had to look over one shoulder in the pass.
Good one, and he's got it.
That is good.
Wildcats get a corner kick from the situation. I can only remember, I believe, one Plymouth South corner kick in this game, and that was towards the latter part of the first half. Wildcats have had about 5 or 6, and it is paid off with Seamus Donovan's second goal of this contest. Both of them here in the second half, 5-1 off a Tim Carroll-Alexis corner kick. Close matchup, and now all of a sudden it is all Wildcats as they are shifting it into an upper level.
Number 7, Seamus Donovan.
A level that Plymouth South is not able to reach. 4th assist of this game for Tim Carroll-Alexis. Plymouth South, Joel Perry scored, and really you're going to have to look back at the key play in this one, and fall into the stand. He wants to keep it, no doubt about it. Mom and Dad paid his $3. Don't I get a souvenir like it is in baseball or in hockey? I can get that souvenir.
I have the winning raffle ticket number. The winning number is 1-5, 3-8.
But I'll go back to the key point in this one. 5-1 Wildcats in control as you look at Roush. Try to go by 3 Wildcats. But the fact is, when you look at the key point, and it is pure and simple, as we will keep heading towards the Weymouth net on the free kick situation, but Perry scores. Seconds later, Wildcats right back. John Stanford tying it. And Roscoe making sure that it is going to stay Wildcats. That is a terrific save. And unofficially, the clock shows 31:41 and isn't moving. As the corner kick comes up. But you look back. From the south will again have a corner kick coming up. Alessio Pacifico. But the fact is, you know, that quick goal right away, it has deflated the Panthers. And it just seemed like Weymouth. Okay, yeah, that's all you can do, Plymouth South. That's good enough. We know we've got to pick up our level of play, and the Wildcats did pick up their level, and it shows. 5-1 Weymouth. We can't give you a rough idea of the time left, quite simply because, using the Legion Field clock, the guys forgot to restart it after the last goal. I tell you when the 5th goal was scored by Weymouth unofficially, 8:19 into the second half.
The winner of the 50-50 raffle, Weymouth High School parent Cookie McGuire.
There's the feed, Beston! Chris thought he should have had the hat trick and should have. He just tipped it away past Jake Lawton. I mean, there's a precision right now to the Wildcats and how they are coming out here. And it's past 9 minutes into the second half. It's more like about 15, 16 minutes into the second half. They have just dominated the Panthers. Panthers 1 shot on net. And David Roscoe turned it away very neatly. And here come the Wildcats. As you look at Seamus Donovan, who has 2 goals in this game, to Timmy Carolexis, who's got 4 assists. Beston, nice slide through. Jake Lawton denies. Tommy Aiello, and I'll tell you, Tommy Aiello was within an eyelash. It just drilling one upstairs and into the net. I mean, right now, if you look at what Jake Lawton has done in the net for the Panthers, it is the reason that this thing is maybe not close to double figures as far as the Wildcats and the amount of goals they have scored. They have just been springing people through. Tom Aiello. Lopes went in at Lawton grabs. Chris Peston says, hey, nice stop. You know, ball boy on the sidelines there dropped the ball out of bounds. Would have made it life interesting. Tommy Aiello. 5-1 Weymouth. Second half action here on Cox Communications. Mark Sherm with you. And the hand is for Seamus Donovan. Deserves the congratulations. Tim Carolexis has been a distributor of the soccer ball, and he's had a couple of people who have known how to finish. Quinn trying to beat McCann. McCann was a couple of steps behind him. Quinn had to wait for the soccer ball, and the result, McCann able to close very quickly and even pass Quinn and set up defensively. And McCann shaken up, and he gets hurt in that opening game of the season. Steve Schaff goes out to check on his defender. 5-1, his team up. Wildcats here in the second half, they have controlled. 5-1, they lead. Paul McCann able to walk off. And his teammates. The 4-goal advantage, and they will watch the Panthers have a throw-in. Upfield, and that will be Ryan Bocci for the throw-in. I talked about corner kicks. Plymouth South did not have the corner kicks in the first half. Wildcats have had a few in the second half. Then all of a sudden those corner kicks have manifested themselves into great opportunities for Coach Steve Schaff's team, and they have the lead, 5-1. Plymouth South has not done anything. The Wildcats, when you get a team that can execute corner kicks, they know how to prevent them from happening. Is Compraccio with the takedown. JoJo, an excellent track athlete as well as soccer player. Michael Eaton. Aiello. Compraccio. Chase. Upfield he goes. Another one thing you talked about success for Weymouth over the years, and it's got to be pointed out, you've had some games where you've absolutely run over some teams during the season, and that playing time has increased for a lot of people to where now they've got the taste of what it is to compete out in the field, and then they take full advantage of it. Takis started as a sophomore. And loop down where Roscoe grabs it. David played that perfectly. Chris Drown was chasing the Panther who had to step on him, that being Joel Perry, and then Chris Drown got the help from his goalkeeper. 5-1. Wildcats on top by 4. Unofficially. Just about 20 plus minutes to go, and Weymouth led 2-1 at half, and then just broke it open. 2 Seamus Donovan goals, and now Chris Beston, who's got the goal scorer's mentality. Did you see how he just reacted on that particular play? Spun around, and he had the better angle for the ball in the beginning, but good closing speed by the Panthers. Mike Eaton made sure that Beston could not get the shot off. That type of mentality, it does. You have to have the mentality. If you're a goal scorer, you just want the ball, you want to go after it and get it. Weymouth has a few on this team that know how to do it. Quinn, he's trying to get Plymouth South something. Chuck, just missing, catching the far corner. Wildcats, the 4-goal advantage. Perry, who got Plymouth South's first goal, has it taken away from him as you look at Compraccio. Compraccio, good idea, just trying to send Adam Scott right through. Adam Scott, a sophomore, he only got sent through. Wildcats. In person, if you want
now in for Weymouth, number 18, Matt Lynch.
The key individual as far as this one goes for Weymouth, I would say offensively. I'm going to put the nod, though, Donovan and Beston have 2 goals apiece. A guy named Tim Carolexis, that is, has got 4 assists. He's put it to spots where his mates have been able to knock him home. Donovan and Beston, he has set up all of their scoring here tonight. The Wildcats really just putting the pressure on. 5-1 they lead. Mark Deshawn with you on Cox Communications, 23. High school soccer, Weymouth.
Now in for Weymouth, number 13.
And Plymouth South. And Takas. Tommy trying to spin around. Nothing there. Uses Danny McDonald instead as his outlet. Tommy and Takas. Mentioned earlier, Seamus Donovan, Tommy Aiello, played in the Southeast squad of the Bay State games. Quinn took too long. Verney just said, had time, and Verney, if he doesn't slip, would have had an opportunity to keep Quinn from going to the net. Verney got help, and good amount of help, because it will be the violation on Plymouth South. Fact of the matter is, Verney did a very, very nice job in playing that. Wildcat defense. You have Basilio, Quinn, and Roush, who are experienced individuals in the front line. And Perry has some experience as well, but for the most part, Plymouth South forwards have had a tough time getting shots on net. Adam Scott on the throw in. Rick Falco. He had 2 goals. The Wildcat match over in Quincy. Keith Verney will just chuck it downfield. Capriccio will run to the soccer ball. Jojo. Knocked away, and Joe just couldn't keep control. I hope this is a sign. Chuck Quinn coming up here, and talk about it in a moment, what I mean by a sign. Quinn twisted in, and Plymouth South gets on the board. Graham Smith with a goal for the Panthers off the Chuck Quinn feed. 5-2. Looks like Chuck Quinn had been shut off. Time Chuck Quinn did what any good forward does for his team. If you can't get the ball in net, you get it to somebody and set them up in a nice situation to put one in. And he did just that. I made the comment about a sign or something now. On the night of the game with taping, the threat of showers, and that carries into the next day when the Wildcat football team opens up their season. But the fact is, it's going to be a killer weekend as far as the Weymouth High Athletics go, and the weather. A lot of high school athletics.